division with scientific notation is not that different. We got to make some quick recognitions. Do we know things? Again, like I said in the previous video, 1 divided by x squared equals x to the negative 2. That kind of thing will be consistent. And also, like we said previously with multiplication, it's also true. If I have a times b divided by c times d, I can separate this out in almost any way. I can say a divided by d times b divided by c, or any operation. Therefore, these can all get switched around and separated. I mean, I could have 1 over d times a times b divided by c. The point is that the stuff on the top stays on the stuff on the top stays on the bottom. Where this gets a little tricky is I could also write a times b times c times d to the minus 1. And so that minus 1 would flip that around. One other piece to recognize is if I had 1 over x to the minus 2. That would equal x squared. And that's a little complicated. You don't really need to understand that right now. But if you do, it is a little bit helpful. If I say things like, we'll say 4 times 10 to the third divided by 8 times 10 to the minus 5th. The thing to recognize here, you have a minus 5th on the bottom. And here's where this type of thing comes in. When it comes to the top, it's going to become positive. I'm going to separate this out into 4 divided by 8 times 10 to the third times 10 to the 5th. And again, in this class, if you have proper calculator work, you can do this. But I just highly recommend that whichever calculator you're going to use, that you get comfortable with it and you practice with it to the point where you get these same answers. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5 or 1/2. These again would add, like shown in the previous video, times 10 to the 8th. That is not scientific notation because this decimal place has to move over 1. To do that, I would have to multiply this 0.5 times 10, which means I have to divide by 10. If I multiply by 10, divide by 10, that's really just multiplying by 1, and then I haven't changed anything, and then I get 5 times 10 to the 7th. And again, that's a basic background for this class. We'll get more involved as we go through the lessons on converting atoms to moles and moles to grams and things of that sort. But if you understand this to this point, you should be good. If you don't understand all of that, we got a little bit of work to do, or we have to spend enough time with a calculator to make sure that mistakes are not being made.